Welcome to The Sober Unicorn. We are a gay-hosted, all-inclusive podcast about sobriety and addiction recovery for the LGBT plus community and all of our allies. I'm your host, Holden, and thank you for joining us today. Hey, everybody. It's Holden back here again with The Sober Unicorn. Hope everybody's having an absolutely incredible day. Today, we are being joined by a very special friend named Nadia. Hello, Nadia.
Hi,
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are y'all? How are
Doing
you?
good. Well, of course, good. Well, y'all, there's gonna be multiple listeners. So Nadia and I actually met through a mutual friend. Well, my friend, her girlfriend. Jamie and I were in the rooms together, and her and Nadia are a couple. So I was forced to become friends with Nadia, but then over some time, Nadia and I became very close. So I wanted to brief her on it. Kind of Nadia's a very, I would I would say very unique individual. So, Nadia,
I'll
why don't
take it.
you kind of tell everybody just a little bit about you and just who you are?
All right. Well, thank you for that introduction. I am Nadia. I live in Colorado, but I was raised in Northern Virginia, and I started doing drugs when I was 14, probably. Um, got clean for my first time in 2013. I moved to the lovely South Florida. They promised my parents I would be safe. You know how it goes. And then I stayed clean for 2 years. And I actually, I'm gonna keep it very real with you. And this is definitely gonna show you guys that I am a little. Anyway, it's fine. I fell in love with my sponsee and I hooked up with her, and I relapsed all within like the same month, obviously. And she and I started getting high, and that's actually how I got to Colorado. Then I went back to Florida because I kept using, and I had really, really good friends in the rooms that looked out for me and got me a plane ticket and a god bed. And that was in 2016. And then I was out there for another year and a half. And then I came back to Colorado in 2018. I will have, what's today? The 7th. On the 25th, it'll be 5 years that I have not done any opiates, anything hard, anything like that. So, yeah.
That's good. Let me tell you, I feel opiates are some of the hardest things to stay off of, I would say. I believe when it comes to like opiates and methamphetamine, that it's like only 2% of people actually stay clean like longer than 5 years. Um,
Mm.
so congratulations on that. So of course, I think going into either any program of recovery or just recovery in general, one of the biggest things is that people preach about all the time is honesty. So before we get into the importance of honesty within the recovery journey, what does honesty mean to you?
Well, I mean, it's such like a simple explanation to me, but it's so so complicated to get to that point where it's such a second nature thing to always be honest. I mean, it's just telling the truth about you know, whether you messed up or not, whether in that moment that truth will hurt that person to hear, but it's knowing like the longevity of not being honest. It's creating that web, that crazy spider web that, you know, when you're using and you're lying to this person, you have to make sure this story adds up with this story. But then, like, so take that away, and let's go back to me when I was like, you know, 4 or 5. Like, it started when I was young. You know, someone would ask me in first grade, like, what'd you have for breakfast? And I would lie about it. And it's like a sense of control for me. And then that just, and I mean, whew, I don't think I was faithful to any boyfriend I ever dated in high school for sure, and in early recovery. Forget about it. Because you remember that little story I told you before? Yeah, I had a boyfriend. So lying was like my like little dirty part while the rest of me is getting clean. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so I put down the drugs, but my behaviors were tenfold, and honesty is my was my number one thing. So now today, I'm honest beyond. I mean, if I feel like someone needs to know something, or maybe I said, okay, I can say things that hurt people's feelings. And if I feel like I said something that did not contribute to the situation, I'm being honest with myself. I will straight up in that moment be like, hey, I did not mean to offend you. Because I don't want my words, anyone to get hurt by me because I know how strong can be. And when you get lied to, it just such a dirty way of living, you know?
Oh, 100%. I think that, like, as you're saying, the web of lies. I think that was the hardest thing to keep up with. Was I would, because I lived far away from my family, I would tell my family one thing, tell this group of friends something
Mhm.
different. And it was always trying to consistently remember who I told what to and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Because I mean, with my mom especially, I would accidentally slip, and like my mom would be like, "Hold up, I thought you told me you did this." I'm like, "Oh, well, what had happened was," and so
Right.
it was a constant trying to remember what you lied to people about. And the thing is, um, getting into recovery, it's like you have to be honest, of course, with yourself first and foremost. I think I've explained to people how when I went into a 12-step program for the first time and I was focusing on alcohol, like it took me forever to state that I was an alcoholic
Mm.
because it was like that first admittance that like
Hmm.
you have a fucking problem. So of course with your addiction was a little different than mine at the beginning, like for substance. So
Right.
did you have kind of that first like few months where like you just did not want to admit to yourself that you truly had a problem?
God, no, it was the complete opposite for me. Um, I finally had like a so let's see. My parents never caught me doing drugs. I moved to Baltimore when I was like 18 and I started dancing. I started doing my own thing. I've always been very independent. My mom would like hold her purse. And I'm like, I don't want that. You know what I mean? I made double what's in there today. Anywho's, I had moved home because I had to get my tonsils taken out. So I was like in Virginia and I went to go see this therapist that my mom wanted me to see. And one day I just like looked at him and I was like, I gotta get clean. You know what I mean? Like this isn't good. And he was like, oh, I know. And he basically like hit the buzzer and my parents like came through the door. You know what I mean? Like, so they knew something was up, but irregardless. So then I went to Florida and then I forgot though that I was anything but an addict. So I was like, I like rode that shit hard. Like, and I mean, it's cool to be proud of like where you came from. You know what I mean? But you don't need to shake your hand and tell someone that you're in recovery before you tell them like your name. Like you're a daughter, you're a sister, you're a friend, you're a girlfriend. There's a million things that you totally lose. I get it out there, right? So then I came in and I had like one purpose. So I didn't have one moment of me saying, no, I wanted you to know that I got the highest, I went the hardest, and I will fucking get more money than you any day. So I had to back down off that actually and see the gray area in life that you can be okay and be a kind person and not have to tell everyone your scars. The lucky people will maybe see them later and like get to learn about them, but like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the thing where it's programs and recovery is supposed to give you your life back. It's not supposed to be your life.
Mm.
Yes, I do understand that it's important to stay involved throughout the years and stuff, but it's not for everybody to have to sit there and go to a meeting 12, I mean, sorry, 7 days a week, twice a day, like, and that be their only thing in life. So I mean, there's so much in the world to see. There's so much to do out there. There and like as you said, I mean, we as people have so many other things that we are, as you said, a sister, brother, baby mama, whatever you may be. Like just because you're in recovery doesn't mean like all the rest of it has to stop. Like yes,
Right. And it's kind of like those like homeschooled kids, right? So like when I first got clean, okay, so I was like not a good kid in rehab, right? And then I started like dating this guy. And if you're listening, I know you know who I am. He's in South Florida. He might. My bad, dog. But anyways, no, he's a good guy. But instead of me taking my time to realize those things, right? I started dating someone immediately. So so then he and I became like the Beyonce and Jay-Z, like that power couple, like in our like halfway house, because it was a guy halfway house and a girl halfway house. And our halfway managers would even be like, hey, if you guys get in a relationship, you guys need to be like this person and Nadia. Like for real, they put that like in my head that I was like, but now I'm good at something other than getting drugs. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna thrive off that. I was sponsoring every bitch in West Palm. Forget about it. You know what I mean? Like I had so many sponsors, I didn't even know how many I had. but I was an extremist. So then I get a little dose of like the reality, real world, right? Which is definitely my sexuality. And then I ran with it and I cheat on my boyfriend and I go sleep with my sponsee and I take her out of our halfway house and we go live in a hotel and it's so I
Chaos.
think that what you just said is exactly it. You have to someone told me once in rehab it's for discovery and then outside it's for the actual recovery, right? So like that's where you have to find that happy medium. It's okay to go and skip a meeting because you want to go to the beach with your friends. You're a human being, you work hard. Stop beating yourself up and tell yourself that if you don't go to this meeting tonight you're going to shoot heroin into your neck. Like, oh my god.
That is
Thanks.
very true. So let's kind of talk about how you said you had a boyfriend, you started sleeping with your sponsee. So like how is it that recovery helped you identify and be honest with yourself about your sexuality?
Hmm. Well, it got explained to me that when you start using drugs, like your brain kind of stops developing. And like hard drugs, okay? So like, I was like 14, 15, and I started doing pills, right? And so I think I've always been gay. But I had no idea because I like muted that part, right? So like drugs go straight, like it really affects your like medulla oblongata. That's why they say like you're not present and you just sit there and they're like, who is this person? Because you're just dimming that light, you know? So I dated guys because I'm a girl, right? And then I started getting things from guys to forget about it, you know what I mean? And then guys started abusing me. So then I started getting a little confusing. Um, and then, but then the heroin helped with that. So we're good, right? So then we went to rehab and then I got clean, but then I like really got clean, right? So like a year, right? 18 months. That's like really when that post-acute withdrawal, all that good shit, like you're shitting normal. It's good, right? And then I see this girl and like I want to hide behind a bush. I never got so scared in my life, and I'm a confident ass person. Like I will go into any room, and then I'm like, I start, yeah. So it was really scary for me. And I ignored it for a little bit, as in like 15 minutes, because I'm an extremist for sure. And I went and figured it out. But we were sneaking around, we were lying, I was cheating, she was sneaking out of our halfway house. I was her sponsor, like publicly, like it was, anywho's. But with all the messiness, I came out, but not as gay, as bisexual, because I didn't know, but I also wanted to not make my mom lose her shit. She's older. Um, so then I did that for a while. And now let's skip forward, what, almost 10 years. My ex is a guy and I was engaged to him. When I was 28, I decided that I wanted to like have that moment of like the white wedding dress and having a baby and make my mom really happy. My mom was so happy when I was dating a guy. Anyway, that didn't work out. He was an alcoholic. Now I'm dating a girl again and I'm the happiest of my life. And I'm gay. Like that's like what it is. But through all of the lying and the craziness and stuff like that, I know how freeing it is just to be like, yes, this is like what I am, regardless of my mom, regardless of her winces and her comments. And, she's just a person. Honesty gives you that power to know that you're keeping your side of the street clean, man. Because in the end of the day, when everyone goes or whatever you believe in, you're going to be by yourself. Those relationships aren't going to matter. It's going to be how you handled them.
Oh, for sure. And the thing is, like, we all know, I mean, of course, you're dating somebody in recovery. So, of course, both y'all want to work a program of honesty and openness to each other. So, do you find that, like, sometimes there's moments of being, like, too honest, of, like, when something happens, you're just like, bitch, I don't like that. Like, I mean, do you
Oh,
find that, like, where you're just too open with each other sometimes?
yeah, me. So I've been consistently clean a little bit longer. And with that comes just more development, like emotionally. Like we were watching America's Got Talent last night, I was bawling and forget about it. So I'm definitely the one that she doesn't like when I say I'm intense, but I'm fucking intense. Like it is what it is. You know what I mean? and my feelings are like not to be played with, and I know that because through everything and honesty, I've built up this queen, right? Like as we should, and you know how you should be treated. Um, but I think so now I think my biggest journey and thing that I need to work on is like when and where. Like, is what I'm saying conducive to the situation, or can it wait? Maybe I need some more time to think on this, to actually think of how I really feel about this. Because there's been times where I bring things up and whoever will say something back. And I'm like, damn, you know what? You're kind of right. That's my bad, dog. I'm gonna go give myself a swirly because I just came in here crying and you know?
What's crazy, I don't like knowing you. I would never think of you as like a hyper emotional person.
Oh my God, you have no idea. I opened
So,
these gates like 3 years ago and they just
all right. So, talking about sexuality,
okay.
um, Nadia is participates in OnlyFans.
Okay, heard.
So, the
Can't
thing
do it.
is you were participating in OnlyFans before you met, well, before you and your current girlfriend made it officially a work couple, correct?
Yes.
So, how did you have to break down that honesty of like, okay, this is what I do, this is how I separate it from my personal life, this is a job, and I'm not fucking like 30 different dudes for content. I mean, how did you
Right.
break that down for her?
So when I left my ex, I told myself I'm not dating anyone. And not because like I need to work on myself, because honestly, I figured out my piece in 2018. I've had it and I just grow it every day. I promise you I do. Um, I just wanted to not be with someone. I was just really fucking over all of it. Um, so let's see, I left him November 29th. By December 8th, your girl was signed up. So I've always said that I wanted to do OnlyFans because um I think they're bad bitches. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Okay. I look good. So if I can make a little extra money off of putting content up, and you know what? It has helped my self confidence. So your first year, if you think you're banking, like good for you. You must live in Miami. You must be a bottle girl, and you must have some promoters. Because I live in Pueblo, Colorado. Y'all know where that is?
Hell
Don't worry,
no.
I'll wait. Exactly. Okay. Like, so that first year, you have to be honest with yourself, right? And you have to check in and make sure this is what you want to do because you're not making a lot of money, but you're working a lot outside of your job. Okay. So I got into it and Jamie and I reconnected about a month later. And I think I just told her. I mean, I was nervous for sure because, I don't know, like I wouldn't want, I don't know how I would feel if my girlfriend was doing that. But I wasn't her girlfriend yet. So it was like safe territory. I felt to like ease her in. And I told her, but she's cool. She's kind of progressive like that. So she was just like, all right. And then just a lot of questions came along with it. And she would ask questions. But I made her very involved. I obviously sent her all the pictures and stuff like that. And so now she actually like helps me like take pictures. So now it's so honest, and I was so honest from jump with her about it. Like as soon as I felt that ping in my heart, like, oh shit, I like this girl, I was like, I gotta tell her. Because I wouldn't want that moment of like, oh hey, by the way, I've been doing OnlyFans for 3 months, but now that I'm in love with you, I'm gonna tell you. Because to me, I'm not mad about the OnlyFans. I'm mad that you kept that for me for 3 months. And I don't want to ever hurt people through my words. Like if anything, I want to be the one getting hurt because I know how to snap back.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, OnlyFans. Okay, I'm not gonna. So we're gonna talk about my opinion on it, but the thing is, OnlyFans has grown incredibly in popularity, and it seems that I have known several people in recovery that do OnlyFans, and I know people in recovery that do like actual professional porn as well,
Right.
and it's a very dangerous slope. Whether
Mm-hmm.
you're working for a company or whether you're doing it on your own with OnlyFans, like what what are some dangers or some hiccups that you've encountered that have possibly put your recovery at risk that you had to overcome?
Okay. So at first, Okay. So like boundaries are a big thing with me, and it's boundaries with myself. Those are the boundaries that I violate the most. Um and okay, so when you start OnlyFans, you make a menu. I know it sounds really intense, but just bear with me, people. So you figure out like some people don't show their face, some people do, some people show their entire body, etc. Right? So I was just like, I'm doing it all. Let's go. You know what I mean? And I quickly realized that like I don't know. I don't like it when guys talk to me a certain type of way. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't like it when, and I'm not gonna. It's so funny. These men think that they can like, oh, I'm gonna fly you out to Seattle. Like, dude, you're terrifying. Like, I'm 31. I'm not 22. Like, you can't do that to me. So I quickly realized that I needed to make this a very secondary, third, fourth, fifth thing in my life. I pay attention to it. I take pictures. I put up content. But that extra money, that's like play money for us. I don't even say that's bill money because I don't want to put my body on like the line like that in my head where if I'm tired and I come home from work, oh, I got to go take, some nudes so that we can eat. Like, I'm good. We're good. We don't live like that. So this is truly like for fun. It helps my self confidence a lot. I feel like the most beautiful I have in my life, which I think is because of other things too. But when you look at yourself on the camera and you used to be a girl that couldn't even look in the mirror and you're like, damn bitch, work. Like that, that's that's amazing. That's super, 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 super amazing for a girl like me. Because my self-confidence equated my recovery, whether I
Mm.
was using it or not. Because if I wasn't feeling good about myself, then I was sleeping with your boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? So like anyone could get it, and it was bad. Like I was bad news bears, man.
Well, that I mean, I have truly noticed as well as like when I was sick in my addiction that and like my insecurities that I would consistently take nudes of myself, send them to men just to seek some type of validation. And like
Okay.
when you went through my fucking camera roll, man, it was like nothing but titty pictures and just like all kinds of photos. And now what's great, like what's weird too is now that I'm in recovery and I'm starting to learn self love and my worth, like I don't take no photos for no man anymore. I mean, you're gaining money from it, so it's a little different. Me sending out those photos were strictly to get compliments to help boost
Right.
my ego. Like, yes, I have thought about OnlyFans many and many and many of times. Um, because I mean, who wouldn't want to see all this? No, I'm kidding. But it's
But the intention, right?
yes, but like I
Right.
have to understand my motivations behind
Right.
it. Am I doing this to gain some extra money? Am I doing this to pay my bills? Or am I doing this strictly because I feel bad about myself and just want that extra boost of confidence? Because for me, if it's for that extra boost of confidence, if I don't make money, if I don't see subscribers coming in, I will go down into a fucking despair of mental spiralness and I would probably end up getting high again. So it all depends on motivation. And as you said, you gained your confidence back. And this is a way of showing off that confidence. Me, it was like the lack of confidence is what made me do it.
Right, right, right. Well, and I'm glad like you brought that up because validation is like, oh my God. Like if a dog came up to me, I'd be like, like you see what I'm saying? Like validation queen, forget about it. Um, so like something that I really, really like was when I first started dating Jamie and stuff like that. And I would like check in with her. I mean, shit, I would let her know what the hell was going on always with OnlyFans. She would always get the pictures. And I wanted to hear from her that I looked good. That's how I knew that what I was doing was not like my old ways. Because when these guys would like, slide in with messages and stuff, like I'm not saying that I laugh at y'all, but like get it together. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just keeping it real. It wasn't like, ooh, I'm the baddest bitch. No, I just wanted to hear from my girlfriend that she thought that was hot or something like that. So that was the first thing that I gauged that I knew that I was doing good. Then you just hit on the subscriber thing. So when you start OnlyFans, you'll be free. God, it sounds so bad, man. But your page is free, okay? So I had like 500 fans by January. Then I went live February 6th. My fans now, I have a consistent about 18 to 22 fans. At first, I was like, ew, I'm deleting this. I mean, it was unhealthy how many times I was checking it, just watching these numbers dwindle. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna lie to you, it did make me feel like I even told Jamie, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. You know. And she never like co-signed it either way. She just like listens. She's like a soundboard for it, which is cool because then I just talk back to myself and I process and we figure it out. But now I'm here. It's May, right? And I have that consistent 22 to 18, and I'm cool. I put up content maybe 3 days a week. We'll shoot some stuff today. I got some stuff that I shot the other day. I mean, I make sure that I keep it that. I work really hard. I teach yoga. Yoga is like my, oh my gosh, everything to me. I have so many more things in my life that trump that that is healthy for me right now. Now, if it did not become healthy, we'll revisit. But
Yeah, and the thing is with gaining the followers too is like from what I've seen, it takes it normal and okay. So if you are a normal person that does it, that didn't already have a consistent TikTok or Instagram or massive
Instagram,
following, it takes a good 2 years
dude, hell yeah,
before before OnlyFans is actually gonna be like, okay, this bitch is serious about posting content, so let's push her shit. Um,
right,
the people that are out here that are like, well, I make $300,000 and I make this,
right,
bitch. That was because you were damn near posting OnlyFans on your Instagram for the past 10 years, got a consistent following. So when you finally released the content on OnlyFans,
right,
you had a huge following. So
right.
like if anybody, and like the thing is, I mean, uh I've had a guest on here, Drew Valentino, that is a male porn star. Um it's like don't allow the work of in the adult industry or the like get in your head because it
Mm,
can't easily get in your head. And we at least for myself in addiction, like I used a lot to forget about the lack of when it comes to relationships and men and the desire of men. And so it's like that's why I fear like if I go to OnlyFans and I don't feel validated, then I'm gonna immediately jump back into the drug to forget that I'm not being validated again.
right. Yeah, I don't think I could have done OnlyFans a couple years ago and been able to like handle it as healthy as I'm doing it. Do you know what I mean? Um, yeah, I think that everything in life happens when it should happen, but the first thing you gotta do is put down those drugs and keep those drugs down because like I don't know, I've got a pretty dope life, you know. I mean, I don't have thousands of dollars in the bank, trust me. I work really hard. I'm in love with a dope ass person, you know what I mean? I'm really really good to myself. That's amazing to me. I don't hurt myself anymore. It was always, 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 what can I do to hurt myself? Whether I was eating too much or not eating at all, sleeping too much or not sleeping at all. Like there was no gray area, right? I was like this black and white extremist, falls to the wall, Nadia Maria Rush, like, you know what I mean? I think OnlyFans maybe is that dose of like my motorcycle, if you will, that like kids get when they get clean, right? Like for sure. And I think it's important to understand that your brain will always work that way, right? Like always. So I start doing yoga in 2018. I become a teacher in 2019. Duh. Right? Like what we love as addicts, we will beat everyone at. That's why so many of us die because there would be no normal people. The president would be in recovery, right? Your teachers would be in recovery. Everyone would be in recovery because we are the best at what we do. Unfortunately, we were too young and well for me at least, and there was too much, so I was really good at destroying myself. But now it's like, and bear with me for this Harry Potter reference, but I was a Slytherin all day and I'm like coming into Ravenclaw, let's not get cute, your girl will never be a Gryffindor. But Ravenclaw is really solid and it's really well-minded people, and I don't know if you guys can relate, but I really like Harry Potter. But that's really like what it is. It's finding out who you are, finding out when it's good to bring it out, and finding that healthy boundaries within yourself so that it pours onto everyone else. So no one's going to violate you. They try to violate you, you say no, and it's a full sentence. You don't have to explain the rest.
Oh my god, that is what I have been learning recently is that no is a complete sentence. You don't have to fucking explain yourself. If somebody asks you of something, you'd be like,
Mm.
no, no. And they're like, why? No, that's it. Point blank, no period,
Period.
complete sentence, end, over, done with. But talking about Harry Potter, okay, that's funny. So I always call so normies, people who aren't in recovery, I normally call them muggles.
Right.
I feel the people that fight to get off of drugs and to live a better life and just to be a better person to society is a magical ass person, is a motherfucking wizard. And so tell me, what house do you think I would be in Harry Potter?
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. That was amazing. I never thought of that ever. That is so deep. The reason why I love Harry Potter, well, I'm an addict, so I go hard. I've got some tattoos, moving on, is because it all equates into love, right? So, like Bellatrix, my favorite person, she was so obsessed, in love with Voldemort. Read the books if you don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, and she ends up dying, right? So, I think that you are most definitely Hufflepuff all day.
Oh my god, you know it, bitch.
Yo, Hufflepuff plays such a strong role, but they're so quiet and you think they're soft. Read the books, y'all. Read the
Like
books.
I truly wish I was a Ravenclaw only because of the colors. Because
I know they have the best colors. You're fucking
um,
cute.
but yeah, Bella. Oh, I love Bellatrix. Anyways,
No, that
and
I
that was
love that magical reference though. I think
and,
that's really cool.
and that was kind of the reasoning behind the sober unicorn is because like unicorns are magical creatures and stuff like that, and that's why like don't get me wrong, I love unicorns because I'm a big ol' homo, but like I still feel that like unicorns are these magical creatures that like people don't really see existing, and when people see a fucking addict on the street, and I can sit there and say that addict can get clean, they're
Mm.
like that doesn't happen, that doesn't exist, and like it can happen, and that's why I think like unicorns are magical. Anyways, so before we end the episode,
Wait, can I say something about unicorns to deepen what you just said about Harry Potter for like
of
1 second?
course.
Let's hit let's hit Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone real quick. What did Voldemort feed off of to live when he couldn't? Unicorns, honey. Okay, so let's just do. Don't be too much of a unicorn where they're sucking your blood out and you're gonna fucking die though. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh, I totally forgot about that because he was in the woods, like sucking.
Yeah.
Okay, I do remember that. Well, okay, just so you know, like the only people that are gonna understand these references are people from the ages of like 28 to like
Yeah.
35.
Right. No, you'd be surprised though. I saw this girl that was like 13 and she was wearing a Gryffindor like robe and stuff, and I was like, I see you, sis. So they're getting hip, only the cool ones. But please continue.
So, of course, before we end the episode, is there anything that you haven't shared that you would like to share with everybody listening?
Um, yeah, man, if I can do it, you can do it. I mean, I know you've only listened to me for what, like 30, 35 minutes. But yeah, I don't know. Like everyone's story is different, right? Like I didn't get hurt in a soccer accident and then my doctor gave me opiates. I started using drugs because my friends were using drugs. Um, but then it changed though for me, you know, like my friends stopped using drugs, you know, like we graduated high school and they're like, we probably shouldn't keep snoring Opanas and I'm going to Baltimore. Um, you can do it. Try, try and do it, man. If it just means like you not using for the entire day and everything else sucked and you were a shitty ass person and you didn't get out of your bed or you ate all day or you made yourself throw up all day, start somewhere. You got to put down those drugs. Also, don't be that phone call. Don't be that fucking Facebook post. I've lost my best friends. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, I know what, maybe three people that I still talk to. One has 10 years. One had, or I don't even know, but she's got a bunch of years. Moving on, doesn't matter. I have too many picture frames in my fucking house of dead friends. I'm over it. Unfortunately, I don't have any more to die, so that's cool. But don't be that person. Like, I don't know, like you know those movies Saw? You know why
Mm-hmm.
I like those movies? Because his wife died pregnant with his baby of cancer, and you're gonna go and mess around. Like, just stop for 1 second. Find something that gets you going, man. Just like drugs did. Do it, get the best at it, teach it, give it back. I don't know. That's it.
That's the thing. I think it's so important just to try, like, when you think just one more time, that one more time is going to could be your last time. Like it could be the end all be all. So the thing is, I've heard of too many people going out of recovery, and literally the first time that they pick up again, they're overdosing and dying. And then we're getting the phone call, we're in a meeting, talk about the death of somebody that we just saw 2 days before. So it's like be aware that that one more time can be your last time. So of course, if anybody resonated with you, your story, or just thinks that you a bad bitch, like where can they find you on social media wise?
Okay, so I would love, love, love the follows. Loving or was it Lux Baby 10 is the Instagram. So that's LUX Baby 10. All my OnlyFans information is on there. Um, I'm super consistent. I love it. I mean, listen, I don't know. OnlyFans is such a gray area. I do get it. But if you get anything from me sharing my experience in that, I'm not trying to finesse your husband. I'm not trying to do anything like that. Okay. I'm just living my life. All right. So I don't know. I think everyone needs to calm down a little bit on the whole like shaming those girls, because another thing that I would like to say on here, if you think it's easy, you got something else coming to you. You think you can just go take a nude? No. It's an art. So for all my OnlyFans girls, I see you. Keep doing your thing. Shine on. Go to my Instagram, LuxBaby10. You can find everything else, and I'd really look forward to your support.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Nadia, for joining us today.
It was so my pleasure. This was my first time. This was so cool. I had the most fun in the world.
Thank you again for listening to today's episode. Hit that follow button to be notified about new episodes every week. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can find us on Instagram at The Sober Unicorn Podcast or on our website at thesoberunicornpodcast.com. There you will find our episodes as well as our very own sober-owned shop featuring products from small businesses that are sober-owned. And remember everyone, don't be normal, be a unicorn, but better yet, be a sober unicorn.